So for this project, you'll be needing your fabric, needle and thread, chalk, your scissors, and a tape rule. That's all we'll be needing for this project. So I have measured my fabric and I've cut the measurement I'll be needing. So this fabric, the measurement for this fabric is the measurement for this fabric is 28 by 11 inch. You can make it smaller or bigger depending on the size you want, but this size will fit perfectly for most of your bucket bags. Yes, so now let's get started. So now all we need to do is fold this fabric into two like this, with the right side facing each other. Then you fold it, go ahead and fold it like this. After folding it, you want to get your iron, and just to make it smooth, just press the folded edge like this to flatten it out, just like this. Yes, so I want to make the whole fabric smooth, so I'll just be running the iron through the body of the fabric, both sides. Okay, now we are done with that. Now the next step is to measure our sewing allowance. To do this, get your tape rule. Then from the folded edge, you want to measure out half an inch like this. Measure half an inch all the way up to the top of the fabric, just like this. Yes, so after doing this, you want to place your tape rule on the marked point like this. We want to draw a straight line. So while drawing this straight line, from the top of the fabric here, you want to draw a straight line up to 4-inch mark like this. Yes, so after drawing this 4-inch line, you leave half inch from this 4 to 4.5. You leave it, then you start another line from this 4.5 point down to the end of the folded part like this. So you have an half inch space right here. So you want to do the same for the other side. So now both sides are marked and I've drawn the line on both sides. So the next thing now is to start sewing with our needle and thread. So I'll be threading my needle. To thread your needle, just pass. To thread your needle, just pass the thread once. Just pass the thread once into your needle like this. No double threading, just once like this. Then you secure the thread by making a knot. Make the knots by tying the thread twice at the same point or 3 times at the same point. There you have your knot. Now we start sewing. So at this point, if you have a sewing machine, just go ahead and make a stitch like this. You stop here. After stopping here, you start from this longer line, then make the stitch down here. That is if you have a sewing machine. So without a sewing machine, we'll be stitching this fabric now with this needle and thread. So let's start from here, from the folded edge. You want to insert your thread from the back and pull it like this. This stitch method I want to use for this pouch. It's a very unique type of stitch. I don't know the name, but after making this stitch, when you are done with this project, it will look similar to the stitch you get when you sew with your sewing machine. Yes, so I passed my thread down, bring it back up, leaving about 2 cm. The stitch is about 2 cm long, and the space between each stitch, sorry, not 2 cm, 0.2 cm, yes, 0.2 cm, and the space between each stitch is also about 0.2 cm. So 0.2 cm from here, insert your needle, bring it out back like this, just the way you make your normal stitch. Yes, so this is what we have. You go in 0.2, you come out 0.2. Yes, so you do this till you reach the end of this line. So I'll stitch this up, then we'll meet at this end. Okay, so I'm done stitching till the end of this line. I didn't stitch all the way up. I stopped right here. So now to make this stitch look very neat, you grab your needle again. Your thread is out here. This is your needle and your thread. Then you put this needle back into this place, into the starting point of this stitch. This stitch, you put the needle back into the starting point like this. Can you see? You've closed up the space that was here before. So now your thread is at the back. Then you want to bring it out here, right here. At the end of this stitch. At the end of this stitch, you bring out your needle and thread like this. Then you go back in to fill this space. You insert your needle into the starting point of this stitch right here. So this is what you have at the front and the back. So again, you want to bring out your needle at the here. Once again, to fill up this space. Then you insert it back into the starting point of the next stitch. This is what we have. Okay, again, you bring out the needle from the finish point of this stitch right here. Pull it out. Then you want to insert it into the starting point of this stitch right here, just like we've been doing from the beginning. So this is the process you follow till you reach the end of this line, till you reach here. So I've made this stitch all the way down through the line I made. So this is what we have. This is the front and this is the back. So this is what we have. You can see the stitch is looking neat. So the same way we made the stitch here on this line, on this longer line, we'll be making the stitch the same way on this shorter line, leaving out this 0.5 inch space. We won't be stitching this space. So start stitching from the top of the fabric here. So I'll just be finishing up this stitch by tying my thread to secure the stitches. Okay, what I did is insert the needle from the back of the fabric to the top like this. Pull out your needle. Like this. Then before you pull out the whole length of the thread, you will have let's say like a loop like this. Then you insert your needle into the loop and then you pull it out. Yes, so you can repeat this twice or 3 times. Insert the needle from the back like this, pull it, leaving a loop like this, then insert your needle into the loop. You have successfully secured your stitches and cut off the thread. So again, I'm going to make a knot on my thread to start stitching the shorter line. I'll make a knot 2 or 3 times at the same point to get my knot, cut off the excess thread, then I'll start stitching. Okay, so leave this 0.5 inch space we left on marked here. This space, you leave it. Then you want to insert your needle from the back at the beginning of the shorter line, this line. Insert your needle, pull it out. Then the same rule we followed while making this stitch, 0.2 cm, insert your needle, bring it back out, leaving about 0.2 cm space like this, and pull it out. There you have your first stitch. Then 0.2, you go in again and come out, leaving 0.2 cm space. Yes, pull out your needle. You've made your second stitch. Onto the third stitch, insert your needle, 0.2 cm, bring it out, 0.2 cm, now pull it out. You have your third stitch. Then you stitch it this way, all the way through this line till the top, to the beginning of the line here. Okay, so I've made the stitch all through this shorter line to the top of the fabric. Then just as we did for this side, you go in back with your thread, with your needle, into the starting point of the first stitch. This is the starting point, this is the finish point of the first stitch. You go in into the starting point and come out through the finish point like this. I'm in, I'm in, then I'm bringing it out through the finish point of this stitch like this. Okay, so this is the second stitch. You go in through the starting point of the stitch here, and you come out through the back. You come out through the finish point of the stitch. So I went in with my needle, then bring the needle out right here at the finish point of the stitch, just as we explained earlier. So again, this is the next stitch. You go in through the starting point of the stitch and you come out through the finish point like this. You come out through the finish point of the stitch like this. Okay, so you continue this same method till you get to the end point of this stitch. Okay, so I'm done stitching, and this is what we have. Once again, I'm going to secure this stitch by tying the end of my thread. To do this, just go in with your needle, pull your thread, and leave this knot. Don't pull the thread all through, leave out this small knot. Then you come out again with your needle from the back. Then you want to insert your needle into this knot. Insert it into this knot and pull gently. This is what we have. You secured it. You can do this twice. Let's do this again. Insert your needle, pull the thread, not pulling it all through. leave this knot, then come out again with your needle, then insert your needle into this hole to make another knot. There you have it. You have secured your stitch successfully. Then you cut out the excess thread like this. Okay, so this is what we have. You can see we left this piece here. The reason why we left this piece, we'll soon get to that. So the way I stitch this side, you are going to be stitching, you are going to be unstitching the other side, just like that. Okay, so I'm done stitching the other side. So I'm done stitching the other side. Although I stitch this side using my sewing machine, just to show you that even when you stitch with your hand, it can still come out neat. Even though not as neat as your sewing machine, it will still come out neat. I mean, very nice. Okay, so the next step now is to cut out the excess thread you have, the fraying edges of the fabric. Just cut them out like this. Okay, so after cutting them out, you want to get like a lighter. I'll be using this lighter to, just to stop. I'll be using the lighter on the edges of the fabric just to stop the edge from fraying. Okay, so I'll just pass the lighter through the edges. As I'm passing it through the edge, it is sealing off the edges, and this will prevent the fabric from further fraying. Yes, when you're done with one side, you turn to the other side and do the same. Seal up the fraying edges so you have neat edges on your pouch. You don't have fraying fabrics, because these fraying fabrics will eventually fray all the way to where you made your stitch, and the stitches might start coming off, and you don't want that. So this is why we are doing this. Okay, so I'm done sealing the edges with a lighter. You can see it is looking more neat. It is looking neater. Now the next step. For the next step, you want to open up the pouch like this. You bring the stitched edges to the middle like this. Then okay, now what you want to do next is open up the pouch like this, bringing the stitched edges to the middle. Then you open up the stitch just like this. You open it up like this, then you fold it to about half an inch. You fold it round all through the edge of the pouch, just like this. So while folding, it might be a bit difficult to fold. So to make things easy, you want to use your pressing iron to press it down. Press down half an inch with your pressing iron round the edge of the pouch, just like this. Yes, just like this. Okay, for the other side too, open it up, fold half an inch. Okay, so this is what we have. I've folded it all through, opening up the sides like this. You open it up. So after pressing, make sure you press it well. Press it well to secure it properly. This process is just one of those steps to make your pouch come out very neat. Okay, so I'm done pressing, and this is what I have. Now, the next step, please pay attention very well to this next step. You know, we left these two sides on stitch, this half an inch on this side, half an inch on the other side. So what you want to do now is to fold this edge again, but this time the folding will be longer than the half inch we did. You want to fold it. Okay, this is the space we left. This is the space. So you want to fold this edge. You know, you folded this place before. Then this folded edge, you want to bring it down. You want to fold it down all the way to the end of this space. This is the space. This is the starting point of the space. This is the finish point of the space. So the folded edge from the top here, you bring it down. You bring it down to the finish point of this piece, like this. Like this. Press it down. Then you want to do the same on the other side. On the other side too, the folded edge here, you want to bring it down to the finish point of this piece. This is the starting point, this is the finish point. Bring it down to the finish point right here and press it down. So you want to, once again, you want to use your pressing iron to press the folded edge you made. You want to press it down just to secure it and make it look nice and neat. Okay, so just press it like this with your iron, gently and firmly, to lay it down properly. Okay, so after pressing, this is what you have. So the next step now is to stitch. We are going to make a stitch to secure this folded edge to the body of the pouch.